Hello. Hello. So I think I got the mic and the audio and hello. I think that's probably it. There's no way I can turn the mic up on this. Hey. So how is everybody? No, I'm not getting 4 beers. Because I'm on a holiday where I'm supposed to be taking it seriously and so we can come and do some explore stuff. I'm just trying to find a place I can stick this so I can talk to you without wobbling the screen all the time, but yeah, if such a thing is possible. I wonder if there is a good place, a better place perhaps. Better place. What's that like? That better? Whoa. Yeah, let me just take this off. I'll turn it around. Oh god, I'm a bit careful which way I sit because my foot is hurting. Yeah, I'm not too bad, thanks. Let me just see what we got going on here. Oh, there we go. Actually stretch the screen up a bit, that's good. I can read everybody's things now. Yeah, I'm not too bad. I assume you've all heard about my my leg. What's been going on there? Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, I got Ali Law cap, look. Ali Law. AliLaw.com. Yeah, Ali Law cap. I was trying to be like Ali Law, but some of us ain't Ali Law. And what happened was, I ended up doing a nasty and slashing through here near, it's what they call the Achilles heel, like the tendon, and I nearly cut the tendon. They said you were very close to cutting the tendon, and I can't cross my legs. Hang on, I'm going to do something different. There we go. I can sit up. Instead of me trying to get down to the camera, there we go. It's a little bit better. Just haven't got anything to put it on per se. So yeah. Well, so let's say hello to some people. So we got all these people in the channel. All these people. We got Chris Thornley, Pompey Cod, Chris Thornley. Oh, hang on. What's going on? Why is it not showing me? Why is it not like going up and down? There's more comments than that, isn't there? Oh, come on, you piss artist. Oh, there we are. Right, okay. Bloody hell. So I'm going to have to go close to read people's writing. Okay, so, yeah. Okay, it's getting hot in here, actually. So, yeah, I'm okay. I did go and try and get into a building, and I ended up slipping, and there was a piece of glass on the window, and we were trying to get through the window, and I ended up gashing across my leg, and it's pretty big. It's like a sort of that sort of length gash, like a 1-inch gash, and it cut down into the leg, so it cut down at an angle, and it sliced a big flap of skin off that was like about that long. Yeah, so it's like 1 inch by about that long, a flap of skin. And right at the deep end, it went right in and you could see the tendon apparently. So they said, you're very lucky you didn't catch the tendon, because if you caught the tendon, that would have been a very different situation apparently. So, yeah. Yeah, so I'm just taking it easy now. It's a bit more sore. To be honest, earlier on, it wasn't so sore. Now it's starting to get sore. I cleaned it with the only thing I had to hand, which was alcohol hand sanitizer gel, because the alcohol is obviously sterile. So I cleaned it with that when I had the initial accident, and oh, that stung. That was a stinger. Woo! Yeah, I think the only thing that stung more than that was like throwing aftershave on my man parts. We used to do that in school for a laugh, throw aftershave on our bits, like, just to see you could handle the pain. That's a lot of pain. But yeah, this was not as bad as that. So I've had worse. But yeah, it's just a bit annoying now, because I'm hobbling around trying not to upset it, So Yeah, they stitched me up. Once I got in there, they stitched me up pretty quickly. I was in and out within about an hour. They just put a needle in, injected a number of times around the area, left me for about 10-15 minutes. Couldn't feel anything, I thought, until he was like stitching and stitching and stitching, and then, oh, I felt that one. Oh, yeah, I felt that one. And then didn't feel any more. But it's only 7 stitches he's put in, but it's over it's over a reasonable size area. It's like that. I've got photos of it, but I haven't. They're on my phone over there. And by the way, can anybody tell me if the stream looks okay? It's not buffering. Is it looking shit? Because I'm doing it on an iPad. Because we're on the Isle of Wight at the moment. Guess what? It's day 1 of an explore where we're going to be staying over here. We're staying in accommodation, and we're going to go and do some crazy shit. Well, I was, and I fluffed it on day 1. And we still have to do loads of explores. So I am probably going to have to be in the car, just being a taxi driver, or they're going to use the car and I'll just sit in the passenger seat, because Ash is okay with driving. So, and I think I can drive. Because I was, it's certain motion at the moment. It's like if the foot is like that, it's okay. If the foot goes like that or like that, it's like one way is painful, the other way isn't painful, and using a clutch wasn't painful. Anyway, I think I can manage, I can survive, but I'm going to have to take it easy for a bit till it heals itself up. And yeah, so that's that. So how are we streaming then? Yeah, Matt with a cap. Yeah, it's just getting too hot in here actually, so I turned it off. Get comfy. Yeah. How did it happen? It said exploring with Carl. Yeah. Well, going in through a window, and I slipped. And it had glass on the bottom of the window, and because I slipped, it could have happened halfway up my leg in the muscle part, and I might have caught an artery or something. So it happened down there, and it kind of glanced off the bottom of my trainer. The glass sort of went glance off it, and just went chunk, and just chopped above the trainer line. That's what happened. So pretty crazy, really. Obviously, never experienced anything quite like that. Never been cut open quite as badly as that before either. And yeah, so it was all right though. Initially, didn't really feel it. I was walking around on it, and I was saying to everybody, "It's all right, it's all right." And it wasn't painful to start with because I don't know, it was a clean cut, and it wasn't bleeding a hell of a lot either. It was blood, but not a hell of a lot. But by moving the leg a lot, the blood was pump, pump, pump. If you move the leg, if you leave the leg alone, there wasn't a lot of blood coming out. So it was just the pumping action sort of was bringing blood out, but it's not an incredible amount. Um, yeah. So what's going on with that now? Comments have all disappeared. Where did they go? Oh, yeah, they are. Scrolled too far. That's weird. So adrenaline, amazing stuff. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't feel anything at the beginning, and now it's starting to hurt, like this evening. So yeah, so I'm just taking it easy. They've all gone for a walk down to the beach because the beach is only like 2 minutes from where we are. We're staying in like a we're just staying in accommodation, okay? So we're just staying in an accommodation, and the beach is just down there. I got so many things lined up, right? Because I was hoping they would have a good idea of what they wanted to do, but just in case they didn't, I lined up a whole load of stuff that would be really cool to do. And we've actually driven around certainly the north, east, and south side of Isle of Wight today, looking at these locations, and then I tried to get into one of them. That's when it happened. So we drove around all these locations, and then when I attempted to go into the very first one, boom, that happened. So yeah, that's the current state of play. Give me a second. I'm just going to check on the. I turned the heating on in here and I just want to make sure it's not going nuts. Hang on a sec. I'm going to hobble out now. You'll see my hobble. Hang on. Ow. 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 it's a bit sore. Let's be honest. I've got, actually, let me think about it. Just get a load of Nurofen, because I bought some earlier on because I thought, oh, here we go. I forgot about these. Let's get some of these in me. Always helps. Right. Yeah, right. I'll do for now. Oh. Right. Yeah, it's not a very good way. Urban Legend says not a good way to start my trip. No, Urban Legend. No, it's very good, is it? Somebody said any cut, HFFP1, any cut is deep cut is painful at the best of times. Yeah, well, it's one of those. If I keep off it, it's fine. It's fine at the moment. I mean, it's just like a little dull ache there. But when I'm walking, it's like, when I'm walking. So I was up for getting out there and doing some explores this evening, even though, there's one part of me saying you should just take it easy. I'm just looking out to see if it's leaking or bleeding at all. No. Seems to be dry enough down there. My sock was a bit wet with blood earlier, but and my orange boots, which, hang on, we'll take this off now. I think that caught a bit of the blood earlier. I would show you pictures, but they're on my phone. My phone is over there. The phone is over there on the windowsill, trying to get the 4G. So, how's the signal, by the way? So, it's not a lot. It's not a lot, but there's a bit of blood on there. So that was like soaking in there, but most of it was soaking down the sock, but there's a bit of blood on there, not a lot. But yeah, like I say, it was weird. It didn't seem to bleed a lot. And then when I was in the hospital, mind you, I did have a load of this surgical tape, like not micropore, but more like a roll of the sort of stuff you get on that fabric bandage when it's sticky fabric bandage. It's like a roll of that. So what I did is I cleaned it with the alcohol, then I put a baby wipe, and I cleaned it out a couple of times and made sure it was stinging, so it knew it was cleaning and it was doing its job. And then I put up one of those on top, and then I taped it around. And it didn't seem to be that much blood really. So a lot of it was probably soaked up into the baby wipe. But anyway, I digress. Right, so let's have a look at what people are saying. Pictures. I have got pictures, but they're on the phone over there. And I can show you by going over to the phone and showing you. But I think you'll find it too gory. And I could get into trouble with YouTube because they don't allow that sort of gore. What I could do is I will show you the stitches, and they did a good job of it. I'll show you the stitches, but if people really want to see the uncensored, hang on a second, if people want to really see the uncensored gory version, I've got me opening the wound up and actually like playing with it, going whoop, 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 and opening it right up, and it's quite big, it's quite deep, flat skin, and goes in. Like I say, they said they could see the tendon in through it, so it must have been big. It must have been big and deep. So, here he goes. Here he goes. Here he goes. Can I switch cameras now with this? Whilst I'm on this, camera, front camera, back camera. There we go. Right. So if I bring this up, I'll have to bring it up on screen first. Right, and then when it's safe and I know I've got the right picture, then I will show you the picture, because I don't want you to look at the wrong one, because it's pretty bad stuff, to be honest, and I think some people will be upset by it. So, right, this is upside down. I wonder if I go upside down. No, it just right there. Hang on. So this is upside down, and that's my foot. There's the foot at the end, as you can see. The foot's at the top of the picture. Okay, and that's the stitches across from one side of the foot to the other. I don't know. I'm happy with it. It's a good bodily insult that I I think we can definitely say is not baby territory. Oh, jeez. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Right. So, oh, sorry, I got my finger over the thing. Anyway, let's have a look what you're saying. What are you saying? Oh, that's right. I can bring these things up on the screen, can't I? Right, let's have a look what people have been saying. Ugh. I cut my thumb one time, got it stitched up, and I found out I couldn't move it. Yeah, no, it's so painful, isn't it? Ugh. The last one I did was cut the web on my small finger. That was deep. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, trust me, the pictures I've got of me looking at it and going round it, and you can see then how deep it is. I mean, what I can do is I can tell you, sort of like, say imagine it was like this, right? It's a slice straight through, so it goes through a three-dimensional section, yeah? And it goes deep, but it goes in at an angle. So imagine if I sliced this in, if I went in, chunk like that at an angle, and produced a flap, like about that long, that would lift up and do that, right? But where it goes in deep, there's a hole, and that hole opens up and you can see what's in there. So there we are. You've got a mental image now of just how nasty that is. So I'm sorry if that freaks you out. I should have given you a warning. I was going to tell you that. But yeah, it is in an awkward place because it's where you're constantly moving the foot joint, you know, so it's constantly pulling that tendon. And I think the tendon has been a little bit nothing more than a scan. Nothing more than a scram, is it? Really? Oh, yeah. But it is a flesh wound. It is just a flesh wound. Yeah, it is a flesh wound. Oh, bloody deep flesh wound. Yeah, that's the one. I don't want to have any. I don't want to drink if I'm driving the car around and doing stuff. You know. Yeah. Ooh, Richard Watkins. I got hit by a car. My thigh bone went through my skin and was stuck out. I was that much in shock. I was just laughing. And to be honest, I was laughing a lot actually. Let's put this thingy on. Look, there we go. I was laughing, but I was trying to say to people, you know, I said to Kaylee, I said, Kaylee, I've cut my leg. It's not ambulance time, but it's pretty bad. And she was like, "Oh right, okay." And I said, "Yeah, I think we probably need to get me to a hospital to stitch it up, but let's see how bad it is and whether we can drive back." So I drove her back to the hotel, you know, this place we're staying at, and then I drove over to the hospital. But when I came out, Ash drove me back because I'm trying now to kind of not move it and wriggle it too much if I can help it. So that's the state we're in. So yeah, what else have we got? It's a high quality stream. Really, it's good. It's good quality, is it? That's good because I put the phone. I found the only place in the room where the phone was getting a good signal, 4 bars, not 5, 4 bars, and I'm Wi-Fi across the iPad, and that is why I'm using the iPad. 2 reasons: because it's Wi-Fi, so therefore I can put it here, and the other reason is because I want to know whether the iPad can use StreamYard as well as the other phone. I want to know whether it's viable to use StreamYard on this device. So it's okay, but the writing is a bit small. That's the only problem I've got. You know, it's all right. And you know, being on a big device, I would like to see the writing bigger. That's the whole point. You know, so I can read it better. But they made the writing all small. So I suppose I can go into font management and turn it up. But I bet you StreamYard will still be small fonts. Yeah, we shall see. He says, yeah, that's adrenaline and shock kicking in. Yeah, that's the laughing business and stuff. How am I feeling today, Matt? How are you feeling today, Matt? Well, you have obviously haven't heard the stream then, because yeah, I cut my leg quite badly for my foot. It's all been stitched up. It's all right. Banjul in the Gambia watching. Hello, how you doing, Gambia? Bloody hell, Banjul. Yeah, I hope that's how you pronounce your name, Banjul or Banjul, Banjul, yeah, or E-Bombay, which is our new chant, for when we on Explores E-Bombay, which is from a certain movie. Hey, TNMT, how's it going? Have you not heard? Have you not heard of my injury? Oh shit. Yeah, I'm gonna get better. I'm gonna get better, but I cut my foot quite badly. Sliced near the tendon, and nearly went through the tendon, but just took the skin, nasty big flap of skin, on glass earlier on. Trying to get into a building on day one of our exploring. Come over to the Isle of Wight, hired a place to stay, and yeah. So they've all gone down to the beach. I think they thought I wasn't going to come out tonight. I would have gone out tonight. I was ready to go out and explore tonight, but they were waiting whilst I was in the hospital, and they all started having a drink, and then they're too drunk to go out. Is that I can't really. Oh shit! Maybe jump then. My phone over there going bing. I was like, what the hell's that? So yeah, I was ready to go out, but yeah, maybe they did actually say, they said, well, tonight, because we've been up since 5 in the morning, getting the boat at 9. Well, we had to be there at 9. We got on the boat at 10 in the Isle of Wight. Then we had a bit of food, and then we've driven all the way around the Isle of Wight. Well, not all around the east side of the Isle of Wight. So east, yeah, east side. And we've looked at all these locations, and then I said, this one looks good, let's go in. And then I managed to cut my foot open badly, and then that was it. You just have to go then. And I took him to the hotel, and then I went to hospital. So that's where I've been up to, Gail, seeing as you missed the first bit. Right. You've had me in stitches a few times, mate. Oh, thanks, mate. Kevin Rathbone. Yeah. It's quite easy to use this. It's easier to read than the phone, but it still requires a little bit of looking. So what's these settings then? What settings have we got? Can we make it bigger? Bigger writing? No, you cannot. You cannot make it bigger. So there we go. I can zoom the screen, but then no, I can zoom. I can move up and down the edge now. So I can zoom the screen, but sometimes it doesn't let me zoom the screen, that is a good thing. Oh, thanks, TNMT. Thank you, Gail. For your donation. That's very kind. So, yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Like with the Apple Mac, I can zoom the screen, and now the writing's bigger on the right hand side, but it doesn't always seem to let me then scroll down these messages. Anyway, I'm sure I'll find out what the reason is. Matty, the screen's frozen. Is it? Is it? The screen's frozen. Is that because I was zooming in? I froze. Hang on, 10:29. Okay, I'm back. Right, tell me then, right? I'm going to go and zoom the screen. Tell me if it freezes if I zoom the screen. So I'm zooming now. I'm zooming. Right. Back now. Well, that was 10:29. Okay, froze again. Oh, so you mean I can't actually use the screen to zoom to read your messages because it freezes me? Oh my god. There we go. Well, we've got 249 in the chat. And for some reason, even though there's no pink in here that I can see, there's pink. It looks like on this or something going on. Is it pink or is it my imagination? Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. Audio's okay, but every time I touch it, it kills it if I zoom it. Right, okay, thank you. It's still frozen. Frozen? What's it? Why is it frozen? Right, that shouldn't be frozen, surely. It comes back after 40 seconds or so. Okay. Right. Don't know what's causing that then. What has happened to you, Matt? Oh my god. I'm going to tell the story. Foot injury, had to get it sewn up. 7 stitches. It was quite deep. We're on an explore when it happened. LK Computers, thank you for your nin, which is 666 upside down. Still frozen. No, it can't be. What's he saying? Back, back. Still frozen. Stayed frozen. Not frozen now. Yeah, good now. I don't know. What's causing it? Okay, well, I don't know what's causing it. So, unless, I mean, I'm getting full Wi-Fi because that's only over there. I could go and check that it's got a 4-bar signal, I suppose. Yeah, reload the stream, press F5 on your keyboard or refresh the screen. Not frozen now. Oh, that's good then, thank you. Right, so, yeah, we're down in the Isle of Wight, and I have got an absolute stack of really good locations to do, but we need to be able to rock up fairly close, and I'm not going to be easily able to climb fences and walk across fields to avoid detection to go and see some of these things. So I'm hoping that we can do it without me having to walk too far, some of these things. I'm hoping that that's going to be a thing, Oh, thanks, Mark Urbix, Abandoned Photography /video. Thank you for your donation. Fuel for the boat. Thank you very much. I did try taking it out, as I said last week, and then the day after would have been better. And then today, this morning, foul weather coming over from, they said it was gale force winds, actually, they said. And it was quite choppy. We weren't rocking, but you could see the sea was very choppy. And this afternoon then, on the south side of the island, I don't know whether it's just because it was the Solent, and the Solent might get a bit more mad. On the south side of the island, lovely, nice and calm. I would have loved to take the boat out. But much more pronounced waves on the south side of the island, and the waves would have been a problem for launching the boat because it would have slammed the boat back into the beach before you get in it and get off. That would have been a problem. But yes. So, what are people saying? Strap it up tight and crack on, son. I will. I'll try. I'll try to do it. I don't even know if I need to strap it up, to be honest, because it needs to breathe a little bit with the healing and all that. But I think I'm going to slow. I'll be a bit slow. We'll see how much I can. Much I can do. We'll see what we can do. Make them carry me. Yeah. Do you know what? Might be not a bad idea, but I mean, you can't take them off road. But one of those little sit on wheelchair things, just. And if I could get around on one of those for a bit, that'd be good. But the only place you'd be able to do that would be in the shopping centre. That's all they can do. On the roads, they're not good for up lanes, are they? So, what to explore? Well, we're in the Isle of Wight. And we've got some really good locations. We checked out some of them, and they appear to be doable. So, and we've even seen some new ones that nobody seems to have put out there. So we're going to try those as well. Only problem is, some of it will involve climbing, and I don't know if I'm up already for putting weight on the heel of my foot, climbing up a ladder. I don't know whether that's going to be a good idea, so we'll have to see. But if somebody else wants to climb up the ladder and open a door, because the doors can be opened from the inside then, there's a lot of smashed windows in some of these places, but the doors are actually locked from the inside, but they have smashed windows. So if somebody goes in and pushes the fire exit door open and lets us in, then we can get in. So that'll be good. Oh, I'm really liking drinking loads of Coke this evening for some reason. Buy some comfy socks. Actually, I might have some socks in the car. I need to go and get some because I've obviously sacrificed that sock now. It's got a big bloody hole in the back of it anyway. So where it's slashed through, there's a big circular hole in the back of the sock, and it's like, that's where you got slashed. So, hey, Lucifer. How you doing, Lucifer? So you picked up on the story in Lucifer very quickly. We're in the Isle of Wight, day one. Drove around, saw all the places that we wanted to come back to. Went to do the first one boom, cut my leg really badly near the tendon. Yeah, quite deep. Could see the tendon. They've stitched me up, and we'll be okay. But yeah, on day one, screwed it. So I'm going to probably have to watch these people go in, and if they tell me it's easy and you can get in easily, then I'll go in. But I'm a bit peed. I'm a bit peed off now. Well, yes and no, because to be honest, I'm really lucky that I could walk. It's one of those, isn't it? I could have ended up having to go in to have an operation to reattach my tendon, and that's not simple. So yeah, that's not simple. And John says I am a poncar. I know I am, but this is what we do. It was a bit silly, I'll be honest. I was doing something I wouldn't normally do, hanging in a way that I wouldn't normally hang, and it kind of went a bit wrong, and I slipped. So it was my fault. And what I'll take away from this is, when there's glass, treat it with a lot more care. I was being way too cavalier. I was being, look at me, I can just get through here, it's not a problem. Oh shit, I've slipped. Woo! I've just cut myself open. Not good. If you want to hear a good story about somebody cutting themselves open on glass, Sam and Jess, ask Sam about his getting open by glass. He had his stomach cut right open by glass. Not with me, years ago, but he's got a good story to tell. Ask him about it. I'll let him tell you the story. But yeah, he's got a good story to tell, and he's lucky. He is lucky, lucky, lucky he's still alive. He's very lucky. Yeah, get a bit of wood to bash the glass off. Well, that's the thing, see, I'm tempted to do that sometimes, but then when does it become, what can you say is, well, when does it become damage? It's like, we didn't smash the window, but in order to get in, to make it safer, knocking the little bits of glass out to make it safer. Well, is that damage or is it not? It would seem to be, more sensible to do it, but I didn't on this occasion, which proves a point. I don't, because if it wasn't there, I wouldn't be in this state now. So there's your answer. But yeah, hi to Oxford finest. Crazy Tika. Hello. Mental story of Sam slicing himself open. Yeah. Well, you ask him because it's his story, and yeah. Well, if the police say to me, like, oh, what were you doing? I'm like, well, I'm trying to climb in over a broken glass window, so I don't end up damaging the glass that's there, But if they're large bits that you can literally just grab, lift out, and put down, then I probably would. But yeah, beyond that, and they'd have to be hanging out, because I mean, if a window was just split, I wouldn't then sort of like take it out. But I mean, if you're talking about like just like 2 or 3 large bits of glass that are literally hanging there in the wind, then that's slightly different, isn't it? Because the window is basically open, the wind is getting in, the pigeons are getting in. It doesn't really make a difference at that point. So, well, I would argue, Matt, you silly sausage, they say. Nicole M. Indeed, yes, I would say you're all right. Well, it nearly became a silly salami, in fact. Sliced sausage. So, yeah. How's the new boat, and have I named her yet? Yes. It is, I'm thinking of calling it HMS Manpon, right? Okay, because of its colour and its appearance, like a white thing, a white sort of, white kind of ovally type thing, that kind of looks like a tampon. So, but I'm going to call it HMS Manpon. So, what do you think of that then? So, all urban explorers are trespassing. What, even when we're just walking down the road? Even when nobody owns the building anymore, when it's common land or common property because nobody necessarily owns it. Well, it's like saying, by breathing, I'm probably stealing the government's air, So yeah. Anyway, Manpon it is, says Salty McBoatface. Manpon. HMS Manpon. We will be loyal to our Manpon, and we will go for a ride with a Manpon on full chat on the Manpon. Yeah, and if we get a if we get a heavy flow in the channel, the Manpon will come in handy. Yes. So there we go. HMS Manporn. No, Manpon, not Manporn. So what are you? Manpon. That's it. TNMT got it right. Yeah. So yeah. Here we are. Is a serious question. Jim Jones says, "Do you think the Parliament will make trespass a criminal offence?" No, I don't, because the new proposals are to do with people who are trying to live in premises that they don't have a right to be in. Now, of course, the trespass law would say that, well, if somebody's come into the building, you have to ask them to leave, and you have to give them a reasonable amount of time to leave. Now, what people would be arguing is if they've got a caravan and kids and da 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 da, and they happen to be on your land and all this, yeah, well, they can kind of use the trespass law to soften the getting off quickly, you know. And I think that what it's aimed at, and I'm not saying this is a good idea, I'm not saying I agree with this, yeah, but what it's aimed at is travellers and new age travellers, people living in caravans and buses and tents and things like that, who just come into like villages and towns, and suddenly they just come en masse and bang, there's about 30 buses and vehicles like that. It's sort of directed at moving people like that on. Now, I think, well, you know, where the hell are they going to go? Because, I mean, they need somewhere to live for a start, but also I think it's directed towards uh, private residences where people are claiming squatters' rights. So it's more of that than I've read it, and it literally is directed at them, not urban explorers. So it's very specific in the way it goes after a certain sector of people. And I don't think, by the wording I'm reading, that it really has much. But that's just me. I might be missing a section, or it's like it's all about us. But I didn't really. I skim read it, and I was like, no, no, no. This is not about us. This is not about us. We're fine. You know. So that's just my opinion. So yeah, missile testing site. That is definitely on the cards. We're going to go and have a look at that. Yes, up at the Needles. So thanks, Adam Rowland. Yes, we're going to go and have a look up there. They won't touch the travellers. Yeah. Well, that's it. And I mean, you know, everyone's got to have somewhere to live. But you know, the government's idea is that, you know, we should all be living in, you know, boxes that are taxed, and they know where we are, and then we're all accounted for and all that sort of stuff. They don't like this idea that people just move around and aren't taxed, and they don't know who they are. They hate that. And I mean, so, you know, it's a twofold attack really. It's like it's been brought about by people who live in these areas, which are getting, like for instance in Bristol, right? I know people who live in caravans, and they're perfectly okay people, but there are some people who live in caravans who are quite bolshy and quite sort of in your face, and I'm going to do what I want to do, get out of my way. You know, they're a bit like that sort of attitude. Now, some of those types of people went up the park where they parked all around the local park area, and then they decided to take their cars not on the road, not on the road to learn how to drive, right? On the grass of the park, where people had their dogs or were playing football, and they were doing donuts around and around and around and around. And they've been doing this quite a few times, I've been told. And people have tried to challenge them about it and actually stand in their way of the cars and things like this to stop them doing it. But they seem to think they've got, like, you know, some sort of God-given rights to just, you know, just piss all over public areas. Now, I don't know. In their mind, there may be a reason why they're doing this. And it might be to kind of draw attention to the fact that they would like somewhere to live, but they're not allowed to have anywhere to live. So they're doing that to let everyone know this is the problem. Guys are coming back. I can hear him in a minute. Right, but that might be the reason why they're doing it. But of course, ultimately, it's the children that live with these families that get screwed around because they can't get stable schooling if they're constantly moving around and this sort of stuff. So, you know, it's That's a bit sad. I don't know. Ah, here they are. I can hear them. I think they're thinking that I'm needing quiet or something. You're coming in then or what?
Hello.
Hello? You thinking that I need to have some peace and quiet, so you're being all like polite. So that was Jenny V. So Jenny V.
Hello.
There she is in the corner of the screen.
It's nice and toasty in here.
Yeah. No, I put the main heating on so it heat up your room a bit.
Oh, okay.
But I put it on for a little bit and I turned it off because I think it was starting to work. So.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. Turn it back on if you want.
Warm.
Yeah. Well, you know, you don't want to be in bed and so. Do you have the heating on in your place?
Yeah.
You do, yeah.
Yeah.
So I
I'll
don't
sleep
really.
if it's cold.
Yeah. I quite like the cold. As long as my head is warm, right? I don't mind. I love cold air going in my lungs, but I don't put like something on my head, like a pillow, right? And then I find them. That's perfect. As long as my head is warm, which is the most important part of my body, you can take everything else away and just put me in a machine with tubes connected to my neck. As long as this bit's working, I'll be happy. Sort of. Yeah. And there's Exploring with owch.
Yeah.
There he is.
How many we got in here?
284.
Woo!
And they say I'm stupid.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, we all know that. Luckily, I'm still stupid in one piece, yes.
Yeah.
So,
Luckily.
Luckily, yes.
yeah. And it's because I was showing off, you know, because it's like day one, and it's like, yeah, look at what I can do. Oh, no, shit, bollocks. You know? So, yeah, just showing off, you know, exuberant, being on the Isle of Wight and stuff. So, what was the beach like then? Oh, I would have enjoyed that then, because, yeah. So, yeah, get you in the shop. Yeah. So, so windy, warm.
It wasn't actually too bad. Yeah, I thought it was going to be colder, but it was actually alright.
Yeah. My hands are cold, but...
Yeah.
Nice and warm in here, though. Got that all on. Nice and warm.
Well, yeah. Well, I was totally thinking about these guys. It wasn't about myself. I was thinking these guys need some warmth when they come back, and that's why I can take my t-shirt, my coat off, and I'm in a t-shirt. So, but yeah. So check out Exploring with owch and Exploring with Jenny V. Yeah, I still don't understand why they have separate channels, but I mean, it's a good thing, but because they are together, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
You are. I was going to say that you are actually together. I mean, I was
Yes.
like, yes, of course you are. They are together, but they have separate channels, which is like it's like having your own like one person being into football and one person being into I don't know dressmaking or something. Like you know, they've got their own channels, but you sort of the same. You're sort of the same as well, aren't you? You kind of because you go to the same places,
The same places, yeah.
and you
It's
film
safer
at the
in
same
numbers.
time.
Yeah.
Do your videos look pretty much the same?
We try to make them a bit different.
Yeah, it's supposed to make them a bit different.
Ah, right, there we go.
Different details and different bits in there. You know,
Yeah.
mix it up a bit.
So you've got twice as much editing, but you're going to the same places.
Yeah.
Bloody hell! That sounds like hard work.
It is.
I think you should alternate it. Maybe you do one video and you do the other video, and then you'd have half the editing, but you'd both be sort of in each other's videos.
Yeah.
Much better.
Freaking
time to edit.
mental. But yeah, that's solved your problems now. Look, you know, you've got half the aggro now.
Yeah.
And you could put the video on both your channels.
Yeah.
And then you could alternate sort of like, you know, you'd still have, you could see which channel gets the most subscribers, even though they've got the same videos on it. Now that would be weird, wouldn't it? See which one got more subscribers, even though they had the same content on both. That'd be a conspiracy. So, I, you know, obviously just carry on doing what you do. And, don't listen to me, but I just thought, well, you know, yeah. So, yeah, these are Luton explorers who took us down the air raid shelters. So that was all good.
Yeah,
That was a good night.
Yeah,
it was really good.
It was,
Yeah.
So what are you thinking of the exploring holiday so far then, apart from like seeing me go to hospital and yeah. But it's not been a bad day.
It's not been a bad day. It's been pretty good. Enjoyed it.
Seen some pretty good stuff already.
Yeah. Definitely got some good stuff to see.
Yeah. So I don't think any of us have really filmed yet, have we? I mean, I've taken a couple of pictures.
Some pictures and stuff. Yeah.
We went up that hill that was very scenic,
Yeah.
but I didn't even take any photos of that.
No.
But
Yeah.
yeah, we might see some. Well, we have got a good lot of stuff. We got
Mm.
2 days where we got to concentrate a lot of exploring in,
Yeah.
and I got about 25 locations, and we could find even more.
Yeah.
Oh, we've seen a
We've
couple
seen a
of
couple along the
extra
way, haven't
places along the way, haven't we? We've just
Yeah.
driven along the road and gone, hello, hello. So yeah, it's going to be
Yeah,
good.
I'll definitely have a look at them.
Yeah.
Very
So-
interesting.
So we're on 45 minutes. So I'm going to be a sensible boy, I think, and probably after we brought Kaylee in and said hello to Kaylee. Where is she?
She's just out there on the phone.
She's standing outside, is she?
Yeah.
Were you allowed to say that?
Hmm.
She's having a cigarette.
I don't know.
We're allowed to say. She should say to me. She said, "Oh." Right. Know what I'm saying here, right? Blah blah blah. Oh well. Yeah. You mean on a vape? You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, the vape.
Vape pen.
Mm. You can believe everything I say and forget everything I told you that I didn't say. So, yeah. Oh, so yeah, I got a packet of crisps, look, right? Because they were on offer. Otherwise, Walkers can kiss my ass. Too expensive. We got bananas for sustenance for injured people that will need all the energy they can get to, you know.
Certainly will, to repair and recover.
That's it, repair and recover. And somebody gave me this earlier on, so I'll give a sort of shameless plug. Right, this is Blackman's, because the guy who's with us, who's not here at the moment, but he's outside, Blackman's, he gave me some of this. This is his own homemade chili sauce. And I'm a bit of a hot chili man, but this is more a fruity one. But, you know, so there we are. That'll go in my curries, and I'm going to enjoy that. But
It is really nice, though.
It is, yeah.
he was telling me that you can get it on Etsy, is it?
Yeah,
Yes.
Etsy, yeah.
So yeah, I couldn't even remember. It was Etsy. I've never actually bought anything on Etsy, but it's like this ethical way to buy stuff. So if you're into like this sort of stuff, and he wants to start a YouTube channel, so I've been telling him about, you know, how he could go about it, and I showed him some videos, and I said there are some absolute lunatics on the internet out there, and what you might want to do is think about having a little bit of an element like these. And I showed him. So anybody probably knows this. If you know what I'm talking about here, tell me in the comments. Right? Has anybody ever seen a channel called How to Basic? Okay. So if you haven't seen any How to Basic, you haven't lived. Because Kaylee and Dan. See, I'm shit. Right, okay, Dan, who's the guy behind the sauces, they're both chefs. And I said, well, look, here's a few chefy sort of things I've seen in the last couple of days. And I'm not a chef in person, but have a look at these. And then the final one was How to Basic, which is obviously the best source for how to cook you can ever see. Go and watch How to Basic, right? And I've got to say, the style and technique of how he cooks is just second to none. Right, so go and have a look at How to Basic. Take my word for it; it is absolutely superb. So let's see if anybody knows now of How to Basic. Let's see in the comments what they're writing. So yeah.
This will be interesting.
It will be
Night,
interesting.
Lucifer. We'll speak to you soon. Get him to check out Clifton Chili Club. Clifton Chili Club. Clifton. Don't know who that is.
No, I don't.
But Etsy is where you can get that. He does batches of them, he was saying. So, you know, it's one of these sorts of things. It's not available in the shops. It's a specialist sort of thing. But there are perks for people who want to sort of like do it via Patreon, and they'll get sent one regularly every month, and you know get good value on it that way. So anyway, RMC services. Matt, do you think there will be more abandoned commercial places because of the lockdown? Yeah, obviously, I think there will be. Correct? Yeah. So I think there's going to be a lot of people unemployed. There's going to be a lot. How'd you give it? Oh, shit. Yeah. I think there's going to be a lot of people unemployed. Get this. Get everyone in the room. Perhaps it's all in there somehow. It's not very wide, is it? It's not, I have to sit on the floor, which I'm not doing because my foot. So I'll go like that. So there we are. So yeah, what do I think about what's going to happen? I'm hoping that the people are just going to go, enough is enough. This is not enough of an emergency for what we're having to go through. And the people are going to sort of slowly push back against the government and say, no, 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 enough is enough, right? I mean, you're not really living up to the promises that you said. I mean, this never ever became the epidemic that it was supposed to be. So people are going to kind of push back, but then you're going to have a lot of businesses are going to gone under in the meantime. They're going to have folded, and when there was no need to be doing what we're doing now. And I was saying to somebody, and they said, "Oh, I never thought of it like that. This was just a couple of days ago." When we went into the last lockdown, we were not wearing masks, okay, and yet the numbers went down. Yeah. Now they say it's really important you wear masks because the numbers are going slightly up. But guess what? If we don't wear masks, the numbers will come down just like they did last time because we weren't wearing masks. So we don't need to wear masks. So why are we being told to wear masks? When we proved, and we're not talking about this an opinion, we never wore them and the numbers went down. So we don't need to wear them this time to make the numbers go down, do we? So there you go. Right? There's your government pushing shit on you that they shouldn't be, and they know full well they don't need to do it. So, just tell people to stay in their houses or whatever, and it's like that'll work. Those people who need to stay in their houses can stay in their houses, and everybody else could just go out and carry on shopping like we did. Remember, we were going shopping and we were doing all these things without masks, and it was all fine, and the numbers went down, because I said, look, if you don't need to go out, stay at home, whatever. It's like, so we could do that. We don't have to go wandering around with masks on. So, and it's like, what? Yeah, it's just bollocks. Anyway, so yeah, don't start doing it. Right. Cool. So there we go. So I'm going to head off now. Those guys haven't come in. This looks very red. Have I been scratching it? Possibly. I don't know. It just comes out really strong on some of these cameras. It's like it might as well just be, that's my head. Right there. Just that's the whole of it. Just forget focusing on this bit. Just look at that. Stare at it like my third eye. And I will hypnotise you. Right. Anyone remember the film V for Vendetta? It's scary how close it is today. Yes, indeed, including down to the speakers telling you what to do, like do this, do that, And it's all scared. It's like, we're telling you that you have to do this because of blah. And it's like exactly the same in the film. There's reasons. They're not necessarily good reasons, but they are reasons you have to do this sort of stuff. So, have I seen the film I Am Legend? Do you was the vaccine? Do you was the vaccine? Do I like the vaccine? I suppose I was no. Do I want the vaccine? No, I won't take the vaccine. No. Oh, my phone is making noises over there now. So I have to go and shut it up. Did anybody pick up on what I was talking about earlier on? Because I said something. I said, let me know if you've seen it. I can't remember what it was I said. Did you see it? I'm scrolling back up to see if anybody saw it. Is my lovely dog with me? No, we could have brought the dog, but somebody would have had to have stayed behind with her, or we take her with us and then she can't come in. She has to sit in the car. And if it's sunny, then that's a no. So it's just, I just get my mate to look after the dog because she's happy then. She's in the garden, she's sniffing around, and she's got something to do. But when she comes on these things, unless I'm focusing on her 100%, and watching her, if I start filming and I take my eye off the ball for a second, she's into things she shouldn't be into. She's eating stuff she shouldn't be eating. So it's not good. Hang on, just turn this noise off my phone. This is good. I think it's going to be a bit more achy by the morning.
Yeah, I think it might be achy in the morning, mate.
Yeah. Shut up. I showed him that. I didn't show him the nasty one.
No, you didn't show him the nasty one.
No, I didn't show him the nasty one because I thought that
Might
won't
be a
go
bit
down
squeamish.
Yeah.
well, it's not just that. It's because YouTube. Somebody could complain to YouTube that
Yeah.
it's too graphic.
Yeah.
They don't like blood and gore and pain and things like that. Even though I wasn't in any pain when I was in the hospital, I taking a video, photos of it, and they actually numbed me with injections. So I'm actually playing with it, going and stuff like that. But I know that some people are going to be like freaked out by that. So that is definitely not for the normal fare. If I stick it somewhere, it'll be on like one of these photo sites that disappears, and then I'll go, here's the link. but it won't be there in a couple of days, and you can have a look at it then. So yeah, because I don't want any aggro from YouTube for putting stuff up that's against their terms and conditions. So unless of course it involves certain people who are hanging around mansion houses with megaphones, in which case we don't give a toss then. But yeah, because they maybe need to be shown that people are not going to take it. Anyway, John Dinkamozzi, John Check was washing my mouth out with 101 proof bourbon. Does it count? I don't know. Don't know what you're on about, mate. Does washing my mouth out with 101 proof bourbon count? You're probably answering somebody else there. I'm not sure. They live is very prescient at the moment, and there are more and more people wearing the glasses. Well, yeah. I love They Live. Have you seen it? That movie, They Live?
No.
John Carpenter. No, they haven't
seen
seen They Live.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Good movie, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one to watch them.
Yeah. I mean, it's like this guy discovered there are aliens on planet Earth, but there's a way you can see them that and he's got to like convince people then, well, if you do this you can see them, and they're all like no, and he's like go on, try it, and they're like no, and he's like no, seriously, if you do this you'll see them, and like, no, get away from me, and he's like he's trying to convince people. It's like it's this sort of weird story about, and it's good, it's a B movie, but the special effects are quite good in it. Yeah,
Check it out.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah, it's classed as one of the like a cult movie of all time. It's a real cult movie. Great film. Check out The Church. Rings a bell. Sounds like a 1984-esque plot. Have I seen Contagion? Yes, I have. And a lot of people are watching that now. They've all like started downloading Contagion.
Yeah.
And what was it? Was that the name of the one with Dustin Hoffman? Contagion.
I'm not sure.
Contagion.
I can't think now.
Fever or no? I think it was Contagion. Was that Contagion, the one with Dustin Hoffman, where it's like Ebola and they're trying to contain it? Yeah. Anyway, yes, it was a comic, I think. Look, Kaylee's not coming in. It's coming up to about. It's nearly like bang on an hour, so I'm going to do something I never ever do, and that's finish like well on time, and before I start like losing the plot. Oh, Outbreak. Dustin Hoffman's Outbreak. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, they're both really good. Do you know what? I mean, it sounds tacky, but there's a movie called what's it by George Romero. It's one of the early zombie movies, and it's sort of like, I think it goes before the zombie ones, and is it not called The Strangers or something? Read the Super Chat. What's that about? Read the Super Chat. Okay, fair enough. Andromeda Strain. That's another one. Hang on. What was it now? It was a gas. A gas was put out. It's black and white, right? And a gas was put out, and the Crazies. I think it's called the Crazies. Yeah. And everyone goes crazy.
Yeah.
And like they just like going off the wall and stuff. And it's actually The Strain. That's good. It's a TV series called The Strain about vampires. Are they vampires? The Strigoi, I think they call them, and they're kind of like a parasite, but that's where maybe the vampirism came from. That's the thought of it. It's good. It's really good. Body Melt was a good Australian film. I like the first sort of stuff that Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson. Like Brain Dead. That's really good as a kind of a zombie movie. Brain Dead, absolutely superb. It's like using cheap special effects and even like clay animation in parts of it. Like they got a rat and it's like clay animated rats and stuff, and it's like it's just done really cheaply, but this just works. It's just so fun, so much fun. And my favourite vampire movie, one of my favourites, is What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah. You seen that short one? Yeah. They're like three comedy vampires. And one of them is like 1,000 years old and just lives in the basement, doesn't say nothing. And the other, it's four vampires. Four vampires, yeah. One of them is really camp and chatty, and one of them is like a sex god vampire. And they all just bounce and arguing it. And when they argue, they all sort of go into mid-air and then they're like, stop it. And they're like, oh, All right. Well, okay then. Well, we'll talk about it later. Stuff like that's brilliant.
Check that one out. That was funny.
It's really funny.
It's really funny.
Yeah. So yeah. God. So he meant the super chat from John Check. Oh, is there super chat? Sorry, I'm not hearing any noises. This is just on this thing, and I didn't. Somebody's done a super chat. Let's see if I can see it and say thanks. Oh, John Check, thank you for £5 super chat. I have the perfect solution. Have everybody wash their mouth out with mouthwash with alcohol. That way, you wouldn't pass the spores on.
Mm.
Spores of what?
Right.
Oh, coronavirus. Yes, I suppose so. But you'd have to keep doing it because the thing is, your mouth repopulates, and it's not coming necessarily from your mouth. It's coming out of your nasal channels. So you'd have to actually snort alcohol up your nasal channels, and then it would sting like a complete bastard. And then you'd have to keep doing that, which would then get into your nasal channels, and the alcohol would actually make you drunk, even though it was just being used as like a mouthwash and that sort of stuff. So the only ultimate way would be to smoke alcohol, which you can do. A lot of people don't know this. You can smoke alcohol. You can get whiskey, vodka, things like that. It's probably best with something like vodka because it's pure. It's a pure sort of thing. And you can put it in a vape. You can smoke it, and you get drunk, right, really quickly. But you get sober really quickly. And guess what? If they breathalyze you, you don't show up on the breathalyzer. You can go out and you can be pissed as a fart, and then they breathalyze you, and you come up. Oh, you're fine. So that's very naughty, but they're doing it a lot in the States. And I saw somebody on YouTube doing a video saying, it's really good. Watch now. Oh, I'm totally drunk now. I could go out and drive my car and be legal. Well, no, actually, I don't think you're legal, mate. I just think that they haven't actually caught up with us yet, and you're going to get completely and utterly screwed. But yes, for the moment, you can get pissed and drive around in your car and not be over the limit as far as their equipment is concerned. Morally, I think they're still going to arrest you, take you in, and find a way to throw the book at you. But you won't be necessarily on a drunk driver's charge. Not that evening. Maybe in the next month, when they manage to work out a way to screw you. But you ain't going to get away with that. But anyway, you can get away with it, though. So, yeah. So what are we going on? Right, so I'm going to go now because it's 2 minutes past, and I did say I was going to go. The China virus, that's it, yeah. Any other movies you want people to watch? Are good? You like?
Don't really watch that many movies.
I haven't really got time at the moment, have we? Can't think of the last good one that we saw, to be honest.
No, I haven't watched a good one in ages.
No, it's been a little while.
Top movies of all time, like Aliens, The Abyss.
Aliens.
The Abyss.
And stuff as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Predators and Predator, yeah.
Films.
Yeah. Oh, The Thing.
Dan, the
Thing. The Thing. Yes, Dan. We've promoted your thing on my live stream.
Nice one.
Promoted, this man's here makes the chili stuff, and you get it on Etsy. Anywhere on particular on Etsy, or is it just by your name?
Sauce That Rocks on Etsy, Patreon, Sauce That Rocks, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all the same.
He doesn't speak English, by the way. So, well, would you like to say that slowly and spell it for us? Because I'm sure some people didn't quite hear that. In fact, why not just say it really? Come on, he wants to be a YouTuber. Here you go.
Right, at Sauce That Rocks. Can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook.
At Sauce on
Sauce,
Rocks.
At Sauce That Rocks.
That rocks.
Yeah, because mainly what I do is I make bands merchandise.
Sauce That Rocks with the at symbol at the beginning.
So what it was before gigs got cancelled as a thing. The bands used to hire me to sort of make a product, so they would sell it at gigs. And that's not a thing anymore because gigs don't exist. So
you're just doing it yourself.
Yeah.
Good for you, sir. Good for you.
Doing what I can. But it's not me that needs the help, really. It's the musicians that I was making these things for. They're the ones who have been left without a job. They're the ones who aren't allowed to go into pubs and play music anymore. They're the ones who haven't got a job. So yeah, it's these guys that need the support, and whether you can support them through buying merchandise or whatever, that's more important to me.
No, well, I'm gonna test his wares, and I'll give you my report. And I'm hoping I can get one of his hot ones off him. and I'll tell him how much it came out of my back end in the morning and made my bummy hole sting. Yeah, because that's my test of a good chili is whether or not you can't literally sit down because it's hurting. Yeah.
Gumbongo one, that will touch you.
Yeah.
That will touch you.
There we go. Yeah. Okay.
You have to vacuum it down, mate.
Yeah. Okay then, guys. Let's head off then.
The
And
sorts that hurts your bunghole.
yeah.
That's what you should call it. The
So
sorts
I'll
that hurts
promote.
your
I'll promote
bunghole.
because she's
No,
not
you
here.
don't
Like
deep
I'll
in the
promote
middle of the
Kaylee
bunghole.
Colston Explores. Right. Check her channel out. I think she's paralytic now.
Yeah,
Looks
how
Yeah,
like
much?
she's
it.
paralytic, so you don't really want to see that. I don't think so. Katie Colson Explores, and we might go live or something when we were doing an explore, and just to prove to you that I'm out there hobbling around trying to get you some material. Right, I'll force myself to climb in somewhere and walk up some stairs, and I'll be like, "Ha ha! Look, I have managed to do it," and we'll live stream. So we'll try and do it. Okay, we will try and do it. I promise. Honestly, which means that when it hasn't happened on Monday, you can tell me my promises mean nothing. But it's all right because these videos get deleted, so you'll remember, but nobody else will. Okay, and that's not true. Okay, thanks very much for watching, and yeah, for everyone in channel, everyone who's donated, and check out everyone's channels because we're all here this weekend. Hopefully, they'll do some lives, and yeah, we'll all live from somewhere. We'll blow up the mobile mass by 50 of us live streaming at the same time. Well, not. Yeah, we have 4 of us. Okay then, nighty night. Thanks very much, and thanks for your comments about my leg, and I shall let you know how it's getting on as it heals. All the best. Nanu nanu. Bye bye.